Hey guys, welcome back to BACCHANALIA. Let's continue, shall we? It seems like the game was realized in an unfinished state or cliffhanger. Oh, that'll be interesting to see. At 1 p.m., I arrived at the first task location. Is it an early access, I wonder? Is this the right place? I survey the intersection. There's a lot of people. It's busy. Huh? I feel like I'm going to be reported for loitering. I move quietly to the side of the road. I don't see anyone hiring. Is the system playing tricks on me? While I'm waiting, a loud voice burst out.
啥玩意儿？又给开了？不是，上午才开2个吗？哎，别！加钱有啥用啊？我也不能瞬间给你变局儿了呀。
Money? What money? My ears perk up.
影视城里当替身的是多呀，但肯这么干的有几个？你急有啥用啊？
More money, doubles, urgent. I make a snap decision and rush over to the big man on the phone. Hey!
啊？
Allow me to introduce myself. Hold on 1 minute, everybody. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like my plans got canceled, so we can do a bit more streaming because it's hot as fuck today, apparently. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is...
你有话直说。
I can be the double.
你？
Big man looks me up and down, then hangs up the phone.
我跟你说，我这活儿要吃点苦头，你能行吗？
Yeah, sure. It doesn't look easy work, but in order to get my wish, I couldn't care less. Don't worry, if I mess up, you don't have to pay me. I won't give you any trouble.
行吧，我这边是实在缺人，你跟我来吧。
Thank you. The guy lights a cigarette and leads me on set. I follow him eagerly. He says they couldn't find people for this vacancy, so the pay has to be tripled. I could make a lot of money.
这活儿呢，其实也不复杂，而且不用露脸，就是需要摔一跤，很多人都不愿意干。
It's just a tumble, I can take it.
1米高的台子啊！
He gestures to me with both hands. I can't help but wince. A fall over a meter? Yep, definitely a little. Well, as long as I can finish the task and fulfill my wish, it's just a little pain. No problem, just watch me. I reassure him while quietly encouraging myself. The guy hands me a bottle of water and starts chatting.
我说妹子，你说你长那么漂亮，横竖也能演个配角吧？你怎么来找替身的活呢？
He ashes his cigarette while casting a glance at me. In the studio city, the one thing in short supply is beauties. As long as there is a vacancy, I'm happy.
确实是不缺，但是你大哥跑剧组也有10来年了，你得信我一句，只要有一部主角戏，你保证能红。
I tittered. What lead role? I'm basically out of work. Mia Gordon, the Make-A-Wish Theater, and the Magical Small Bottle, the events of the past few days sweep before my eyes. I shake my head of distractions. He sees me and stops asking questions. Crew members come and go, moving equipment and preparing the set. I see a stretcher and a medical kit in the props. I can't help being curious. Right, so what am I going to double for?
丧尸。
Okay. Fuck yeah, that would be awesome. I almost choke on my water.
哟，咋的了？
Nah, just a little bit surprised. So the Make-A-Wish system gave me the first task. to fall from a platform as a zombie? I can't help but let out a laugh. Then I hear him muttering quietly.
哎呀，可惜了，你长这么漂亮，要早点来，怎么着也能捞个带台词的。
I give an awkward smile and change the subject. Oh yeah, big man. This is a pretty big production, right? Who's the lead actor? He draws on a cigarette and gives me a long look.
配角。
As soon as I hear the name, my mind is swimming. Personage Entertainment's lead actor. Child star, plays tough roles, Golden Eaglet for Best Actor. It's a world away.
呐，他演男主。今天你接这活儿啊，就是跟配角搭戏。
What? This is the opportunity most people dream of, right? How could you not find anyone? And with my amateur acting skills, I'm supposed to perform with a movie star? My heart races.
先别高兴太早，配角虽说是影帝，你要真跟他合作，那可有你受的。
What do you mean? As we talk, he leads me on set.
啊，就这个台的。导演喊 action 之后，配角演的男主会从不远处一路杀过来。等他差不多到台的跟前儿，你就跑上台的，从空中往下扑过去就行。
The platform is almost as tall as I am. I thought it was just a simple fall, but they want me to dive down and pounce on Cameron, the movie star? Big man, this...
你听我说，你朝他扑下去，他会抬手挡你一下，接着越过你，然后呢，你的活儿就算完成了，明白吗？哦，对了，到时候地面还有几个丧尸群演缠着呢，你得看准点啊。
As I listen from the platform, my legs begin to shake. Thought the first of 3 tasks would be easiest. I was naive. The crew next to him chuckle out loud. I feel embarrassed, and my face starts to blush. What a wimpy zombie. I can't help but laugh.
哎，我说大哥，要不还是别难为人家小姑娘了。
哎，我也没辙呀。今天这个妹子来之前，已经连着有3个替身都被开掉了，一时之间实在是找不着人啊。
不是吧？这么狠？裴影帝果然名不虚传。
Questions run through my mind. I leave the platform and chat with Big Man. I like that that's now officially just his name. So, what does this have to do with Cameron? Was he the one who fired them?
嗯呐。
Oh? This is one of those where I think if we criticize... can I get rid of this? Oh, it's broken. There we go. I think if we criticize Cameron, he's gonna show up.
还不是因为没达到人家裴影帝的标准，配角说不行，导演哪敢说行？
I take a deep breath. What's going on? Is Cameron really that harsh?
岂止是严格，简直不近人情。这个镜头也就3秒钟，导演都说差不多得了，他非要一遍遍重来，就是不满意。
But wanting perfection is not a problem.
哎，错是没错，他就是没考虑过剧组，剩这么点时间，我上哪儿给他找人去？这不给人找不痛快吗？
True. Is he always like this? Big man takes a deep drag on a cigarette and sighs.
别提了，我们这些跑剧组的最怕遇见他，有他在，活儿一个比一个难搞。
So, the best actor star is actually really unpopular? Well, not really.
倒也不是这么说。哎，话说起来，这配角是真能扛啊，多危险的戏都是亲自上，一点不含糊。这个咱不服不行。哎，不过道哥跟你说啊，这做人呐，不能太较真儿，尤其是在剧组里混。 你还是得讲点人情，差不多就得了呗。他非过不去啊！你看， 就为这么一个几秒钟的镜头，你大哥我今天2顿饭没吃了。
As he is about to gossip more, he glances behind me and suddenly freezes up. What's wrong? I tense up. I turn my head and see a figure standing in the shadows. The aura was different from the other people around.
裴老师好。
He forces a smile and greets him. The crew are also polite. Huh? Cameron can be seen looking in our direction. The guy finishes his cigarette.
完了，他肯定听见我们说的话了。
Cameron doesn't speak to anyone. He rolls up his sleeves and walks over to the cameraman. He whispers something to him with a few hand gestures. The cameraman listens and nods intentively. I hear 2 extras whispering with admiration.
脸那么小，还棱角分明，不靠打光也这么有型。哎呀，果然是天生的演员。是啊，是啊。
Still whispering. They say very different things about me. I stare at him in awe. It feels so surreal, like a painting that has come to life. I've seen a lot of handsome men in show business too, but he is on another level. Now a man who looks like the director walks over and pulls Big Man aside, then asks with doubt.
王哥，这就是你新找的那个替身？
I know they're talking about me.
啊，这一个小姑娘能不能行啊？
行不行？试试再说。我临时找不到别人了。
The 2 men exhale and look at me with worried expressions. Why wouldn't I be able to do it? Just now, the crew came over and gave me a blood-stained zombie jacket. It looks very realistic. Thankfully, the cameraman will only shoot from my back. No makeup required. I also feel a sense of relief. Soon the lighting is in place.
开拍了啊，你可得机灵点。
Huh? Well, I nod and pull on the jacket. Big Man pats my shoulder, both as an encouragement and farewell. Cameron gestures to the director. Then the room goes silent. As the lights dim, a spotlight hits the front of the platform. He tells me to wait until Cameron is near the spotlight, then rushes onto the platform and dive. I can see Cameron is already in the zone. He looks at me from the shadows with a frown. The bright light in the corner outlines his chiseled features and obscures most of his face in the shadows. I try to steady myself, but I'm getting more and more nervous. My palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti.
Action!
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Like a shooting arrow, Cameron rushes forward. It's not hard to play a faceless zombie. I'm not afraid of getting hurt. But diving on top of a movie star suddenly, my legs feel like cement. I overhear the crew talking. The scene is a zombie riot in a city. Cameron plays Zachary, who is fighting to find his sister. Everyone seems to be against him. It is no ordinary task, but he is determined to see it through. They've shot this scene a dozen times. The crew are hungry and want to wrap it up. A mountain of pressure comes over me. 5 meters, 4 meters. Cameron nears the spotlight. Everyone's watching me. This is the time. Run, jump. I leap onto the meter-high platform. I can see the ground. Several zombies extras surround Cameron. He rolls over and finds an escape.
心之所向，即是我的信条。
Right on cue, Cameron reaches the beam of light. He is in perfect position, and I suddenly feel unsteady and stumble on my feet. Just now, the glow of the pendant flashes through my mind. My foot catches on something, and the moment causes me to fly into the air. I let out a scream. My mind goes blank. My body reacts, and I fall with my arms wide open. Cameron raises his elbow from below and makes a blocking gesture.
休想拦我！
I crash into Cameron at full speed, straight into his solid muscular arms. Ah! Screams echo through the room. Despite the soft padding the floor, my whole body aches. Everyone disperses toward the director. I'm alone on the floor. It hurts so much. Although I look like a mess, I need to take a minute to breathe. My fall was a bit chaotic, but everyone's faces seemed to be ecstatic. Big man's loud voice shouts from the crowd.
哎呀，试了那么多替身，总算有一个踩点准又敢跳的了。
裴爵，你来看看。
The director hurries to show Cameron the footage. His eyes show a mixture of anticipation and doubt. Cameron reviews the shot and furrows his brows. Everyone's heart is beating fast. After watching it, Cameron turns towards me without a word. Huh? He leans down and extends a hand towards me.
我服你。
I give him my hand. A warm force emits from his fingers and flows through me. I feel a gentle flush on my cheeks. Thank you. He picks me up and hands me a band-aid. Just then I realize my index finger has a small cut and is bleeding. Thanks. The wound is shallow. It doesn't hurt. I silently bandage my finger. This feeling is indescribable. All this time, no one's ever been so attentive to me, perceptive even. In fact, Cameron is not like the stuff described, all cold and unapproachable. My mind wanders. Suddenly, Cameron says,
你学过演戏吗？
I think we should say yes. No, we haven't. That's right. We haven't. Oh, this glitch keeps happening. Let's see if we can get rid of it. There we go. No, I think we said before we haven't done it before. Yeah, I remember she says she hasn't. No, the face before me was so perfect, yet I feel so badly. Though I fell so badly, I want to bury myself in a hole. I pretend to be busy with the bandage and look down to avert his gaze. My face feels hot. I've just done a few bit parts.
什么学校毕业的？
I just said I didn't, you fuck. Well, no professional training. He has such a strong aura. His eyes are full of unpredictable emotions. Even with such a soft voice, my heartbeat is racing. Does he mean that as a compliment? I'm so nervous.
难怪。
Hold on. Sorry. Wow, here comes the cold water.
导演还没喊卡，你凭什么叫出声？哪有丧尸会疼的？
Oh, whether it's their height or status, these guys are intense, and I can't deny what they said. Excuse me? How many times have we actually seen a zombie screaming in a movie? That's actually common. Listen here, you little shit. Now you're getting into my territory. Zombies scream all the time. They moan, they scream, they make sounds. That's actually pretty common. I feel so overwhelmed. The director wraps things up.
没关系，没关系啊，声音都是后期重新配。
Cameron's eyes cool down, but he looks serious.
作为演员，时刻要待在自己的人物里。
But I'm just a double. I mutter in a small voice and try to justify myself.
替身也不例外。
Overdub it with a moan, it'll be fine. Yeah, basically. He says softly in a voice only the director and I can hear. The tension is killing me.
那这条
The director says in a low voice, it looks like another rejection when Cameron unexpectedly nods.
过。
The crew jumps with excitement.
走走走，吃饭了啊！
Once everyone is gone, Big Man comes over. Only the director, Cameron, and I are left. Cameron's eyes sink towards me.
你还很外行，只不过今天走运。想当演员的话，回去好好练。
Dick.
要是不求上进，就准备跑一辈子龙套吧。
He's not wrong, but he is still a dick. He is not wrong, though. I should say I have done acting most of my life. Just amateur acting. Nothing in movies and stuff, just theater. I know he's right, but it still hurts to hear it. Cameron says goodbye to me, says goodbye to the director and then strides off. The director and I stare awkwardly at each other.
对，工钱，我等会儿让那大哥结给你。
Sure, very nice of you, director. I take the triple pay and walk off set with mixed feelings. I got paid, but something doesn't feel right.
要是不求上进，就准备跑一辈子龙套吧。
Bit parts for the rest of your life. Was it really necessary? I kick the pavement and walk on. I rub my thumb over my bandaged finger. When Cameron gave me the band-aid, he also had calluses on his hands. Well, as for my big fall, he's probably seen a lot before. At that moment, the small bottle shimmers with light, and I suddenly realize the task. The point is the task. I hastily remove the pendant and shake it in the light. The liquid shakes, and the inside, the water level is about a third full. The pendant's fullness reflects the progress of the task. Incredible, but compared to the theater, this is a piece of cake. I feel pumped again. First task is complete. Ready for the next? I grip the pendant tightly and review the details of the second task. Task 2, help the bully assistant. Time, 1600. Location, Studio City, Westwood intersection. Scheduled for 4 p.m., huh? Wake up phone lock screen. The time is 15:27. Huh? I quickly grab my phone and go. I arrive panting at the location of the second task. I didn't think I would make it in time. Luckily, I found a shared bike. I checked, what the heck's I check? Is that something in China? Shared bike? I've never heard that before. I catch my breath. After the last task, I won't just stand and wait. Better go searching. Unlike last time, this is near the Studio City exit. The parking lot is nearby. There aren't so many pedestrians. Help the bullied assistant. Where are they? I prick up my ears, watch the roads, and continue. Could the theater have made a mistake? There's no one here. On the way, several girls come around the corner. They shout angrily and push a small girl to the ground. The bully assistant, could it be her? Let me check it out.
装什么可怜？你就是这么骗富余的吗？
So is this place like a theme park similar to what Toho does? For those that don't know, Toho is a place where they film, is also apparently a theme park.
我真是越看他越不爽，又丑又穷，简直是废物一个。就是，我们花了多少钱才把小天使捧起来？你又做了什么？凭什么天天在他身边晃来晃去？
Sounds like these girls are fans.
我是做的不够好，但我也没有给富余添乱了。
The junior assistant is on the verge of tears. The girls get more aggressive.
我们哪里添乱了？还哪里？都说了这次活动不公开，你们倒好，四处扩散消息，叫来了这么多人，主办方当然只能取消活动。富余最近负面评论本来就多，你们有替他考虑过吗？挨骂的又不是你们。
Oh, this assistant is quite feisty. I've heard of Richard, a young pop idol. He's everywhere right now, always trending, lots of haters. Although he's fairly new, he's almost as popular as Cameron. Compared to me, he's a superstar. Never thought fans and assistants could fight like this.
好笑，你还敢怪我们？连这么一个小活动都组织不好，不还是你这个助理没用吗？你就不配待在富余身边。
The junior assistant needs help. What should I do? But she's up against so many people. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to step in immediately or do you want to wait and see? It is up to you guys. What you decide. Take a drink. Y'all want to step in? All right, let's do this. Get away. I take a big step forward. What are you doing? For a moment, the girls are stunned by my intervention, but then someone reacts.
你是谁？
It is better not to be honest. My mind is racing. I'm a staff. And who are you? Are you visitors? What's all this racket about? Which artist or company let you fool around here? The group is glaring at me.
凶什么凶？骗谁呢？你都没穿制服。
That's because I'm the manager. I managed to bluff them. I've never done this before, but I've seen Mia act like this plenty of times. So, what do you have to say? If no one says if no one says anything, I'll just call someone. I pretend to take out my phone.
等一下，
The junior assistant interrupts me.
我们不是可疑人物，这是我的工作证。今天在影视城里有活动，这些人都是粉丝。
An event? Then what are you doing out here?
活动已经结束了，我在收集他们参加活动的感想。
Right, all done then? I raise my eyebrows. Do you have any idea how many stars come through here? If anything goes wrong, we're responsible.
收集完了，刚刚收集完，你们可以走了，快点。好。
The girls sneer and scatter away. I steal a glance, no one looks back. I look back at the junior assistant.
多谢你帮我解围。
Huh? How do you know I'm not?
影视城我也来过很多次了，从没听说过有什么经理。
Ah, no wonder. I rub my nose in embarrassment. The junior assistant smiles sweetly.
我叫豆花，是明星富余的助理。
She's adorable, let's keep her. By the way, that reminds me of Nerd. My name is Hugh Anon. I'm an extra.
群演，
Beanie blinks with surprise.
我还没见过你这么漂亮的群演。
Huh, you're pretty cute too. That phone is yours, right? Let me grab it.
啊，我自己来。
What's wrong? Beanie lifts her trousers. Her knees are covered in blood.
好像是刚才摔倒的时候擦破了。
Don't move. I'll help you get your stuff. Here, there should be a first aid kit at security. Let me get it.
没事没事，不用这么麻烦。我们的后勤车在那边的停车场，车上就有药箱。
I pick up her phone as we speak. Can you walk? Do you need me to carry you?
能走，就是会慢一点。
Let me help you.
麻烦你了。
It looks pretty painful. Beanie agrees and takes my hand. I help Beanie up and we slowly walk to the parking lot.
这边，女神。
Gorgeous? I'm too awkward. I can't be called a name like that. Beanie?
前面就到了。女神，我可不可以请你帮个忙？
You know, it's weird. It's been a very long time since I've heard Chinese because I used to speak it in high school. And I still recognize several words, which is pretty neat.
一会儿见到我老板，他要是问起我受伤的原因，你能帮我保密吗？
Sure, but why?
因为很丢脸。
Beanie is serious. I can't help but let out a smile. Then again, I think my teacher spoke 3 different languages at the same time to fuck with us. Yeah, I think she did. I did learn a couple extra things from her. Okay, got it.
谢谢女神。
Ah, damn. The word slipped my mind. Beanie, don't call me.
豆花，
Oh, Jesus, it's a midgie. It's a chibi. I'm about to speak when a loud voice interrupts me. A figure rushes towards us from afar. So fast! Then stops right in front of us.
老板，
Boss? So it's Richard? He raises the script in his hand and smacks Beanie on her head. Stop that. Oh god, it really is Nerd. Holy shit, it's mini chibi Nerd.
这么长时间，你跑哪里去偷懒了？居然连我的电话也不接！
宝 抱歉，老板，我遇到点急事。
急事就可以丢下我一个人吗？好，我决定了，扣你半个月工资。
Everyone needs to ping Nerd in the Discord and link her this game.
哎呀，老板，你又吓唬我。
She actually speaks Chinese as well. Or at least I think she understands it better than I do. It's been a while since I've actually had to speak it. The young man put his hand to his forehead, his pink bangs swirling at his fingers as his eyes glow with a soft radiance. He really has star quality. He tries to keep a straight face, but the edge of his mouth curls.
No, 这次是真的，我不能再纵容你了。
I like that voice actor.
啊，不要啊，老板，半个月也太多了。真的是急事，我保证不会有下一次了。
Should I help Beanie say something? No, we gotta defend our poor girl. Oh god, we have to defend the spaz. We have to. Even though I promised Beanie not to say anything, I can't let her be punished for this. I can vouch for her.
哎，你是谁啊？
Are we sure he's not a pop? He is a pop idol. Never mind, I was gonna call him K-pop as a joke. Richard seems to have just noticed me. He frowns as he looks at me.
你是？
女神，你答应过我不说的。
I shake my head to Beanie, who looks to be pleading. Those are his fans. Do you really think it'd be better not to tell him? Would he be C-pop?
粉丝？我的粉丝怎么了？
I don't actually know if they have C-pop, but that would be interesting. I've never actually looked into that. The closest I've done is I've watched a couple of, I've read some manhwas, which if you guys don't know, that's Chinese mangas, are called manhwas. I actually have quite a few of them in my collection. Some of them are very, very good. For those that want recommendations, I'll have to go dig them out. And I've seen some of their soap operas, because we used to watch them in class, which were interesting. The best way to learn a language is to watch stuff like that and kind of figure out things with the body language and everything. The soap operas are pretty good, I can't lie. I fucking like their soap operas. I cannot lie about that. They do some interesting things. I do recommend if people haven't read manhwas, you can get some really good stories. You can. And the art is usually really, really, like, look at this artwork. You get a lot of this style, and I like it a lot. I've seen a couple of them trying to do, like, emulate older manga and older anime in style, and I really like that stuff, but then again, I have a weakness for that kind of stuff. They were just bullying Beanie by the parking lot. I happened to be passing by and helped her out.
欺负？
也没有那么严重。
So, how did you hurt your knee?
你还受伤了？我看看。
I like his necklace, or his neck choker. Richard is a little nervous.
小伤，我没事，我们也没起多大的冲突。
I shake my head and interrupt Beanie. Her injury is not the biggest issue.
Huh?
They're your fans and Beanie is your assistant. It might not be your job, but you can't just ignore it. Imagine if it wasn't me passing by, but a gossip reporter instead. For an idol like you, nothing is worse than bad press, right? College friend and I watched a soap opera called, like, Silent Star. I haven't seen that one, but I gotta look that one up. That one sounds interesting. There was one I watched, back in high school. And it was set in, like, a much older era. Like, I almost wanted to say Edo, which is stupid. But, like, ancient times. Like, their version of, like, medieval times. And the outfits were to die for. I love them so much. Like, I love the classical, like, Chinese dresses and stuff are beyond beautiful. But now I gotta check out Silent Star. Thank you, Tenchi. It has been forever since I've sat and watched these kind of soap operas. Now we might have to do a watch party of this kind of stuff. Because I'd love to show stuff from around the world. Even though today was a minor accident, if you don't respond, what will the fans think? Once this gets out, who says it won't get out of hand? But then it'll be too late. Ooh, I got my love value up. Richard and Beanie both go silent. I suddenly feel regret. Richard isn't just some random newbie, and I'm here giving him advice. Who am I to tell him what to do? He's much more famous than I am. I can't help but rub my nose in embarrassment. Sorry. I've said too much. Sorry about that. Something went down the wrong tube. It's trying to come back up. Remember to help Beanie disinfect her wounds. I quickly leave before they react. I took a different exit, checked that Richard and Beanie aren't following, and examined the pendant. The burgundy liquid in the small bottle gives off a nice shine. It does remind me of Ouran Host Club. That might be why I like these kinds of things so much, is I really enjoyed Ouran Host Club. 2/3 full. I kind of wish they had continued the anime like they had announced. That would have been cool. Then again, we wouldn't have had the dubbing group that we had originally, because Vic's not with Funimation anymore. Looks like the second task was complete. I'm relieved. My footsteps feel lighter. Come on, Huanon, you've got this. I encourage myself, admiring the delicate pendant bottle. Just when I think it's over, there's a sudden shout from behind.
等一下！
Huh? My hand shakes and I almost drop the pendant. Luckily, I managed to catch it. What is it? I look back and see Richard rushing towards me. Is it me, or does the music remind you of Sonic the Hedgehog? Like Sonic Adventure? Remember the casino zone? Doesn't it remind you of it? Shouldn't he be helping Beanie right now? Did he realize something? I jolt and break into a run. It's good to help others despite it being a task. Doing it still gives me shivers. So when will how do a spin dash?
别跑！我
Stop chasing me! The wind whistles past me. I can't hear what he's saying, but it's for the best. I quickly make a sharp turn and then hide in an alley.
等一下！
The footsteps behind me fade away. I poke my head out. Richard's still running up the street. Clever me. I grip the pendant tightly. There is only one last task left. I need to go to the task location now. Task 3. Teach the casting creep a lesson. 1900, location South China Hotel, room 1107.
欢迎光临。
I stand in front of the hotel before going in and check my phone. It's 6:45 p.m. There are still 15 minutes to go. The final task seems to be the most dangerous. I haven't been in the industry long, but I've already had the privilege of meeting such scum. Generally speaking, they're all a bunch of powerful old perverts. No, there are young ones too. Monsters come in all sorts. So, just like when I leave the parking lot, I have an extra bag with me. Pepper spray, personal alarm, rolling pin, and a brick of pavement. Damn, girl! And a mace from my besties. That should do it, right? For the third task, I'm not so nervous. I wonder what kind of lesson the system is talking about. How bad could it be? Despite the confusion, I remember the most important thing. I take a photo of the hotel on my phone and send it to the address to my besties. QAnon. If in 20 minutes, I think for a moment, make it 30. If I don't reply in 30 minutes, call the police. Send. I ignore her instant reply of question mark, take a deep breath, and enter the hotel. 1107, 1107. When I get out of the elevator, I repeat the number down the hallway. Found it. I stand at the door and check the time. 2 minutes to go. Right on time. I better check the plan again. Should we do it quick and dirty, guys, or get some audio evidence? Which do you guys want to do? We got one for audio evidence? Alrighty, it's the first thing I saw. I'm scared, but with the kind of scum, it's best to have a backup plan. I check the memory on my phone, then open the recording app. Just get him talking so he won't hurt anyone anymore after the task. Need to give the evidence to someone he fears. I run through the scenario in my head. Phew, you can't be too careful. I press the record. Time, 7 p.m. sharp. I steady myself and knock on the door.
是我的小花豹来了吗？
What a tacky nickname. It's me, open the door. I answer with a little shrill voice.
还等我给你开门？门卡不是都给你了吗？
Despite the man's words, the sounds of footsteps. Getting closer to the door, I stare at the door and wait for it to open when suddenly, the door swiftly opens a crack, and a hand grabs my wrist. Huh? I have no time to redact. The hand tightens its grip and drags me inside. I'm against a wall. This clearly isn't his first time doing this. I manage to push him off. Wait! The man is surprised and stumbles.
你谁啊？
Full of adrenaline, my mind is racing. Don't you remember me? I'm rushed into answering with a question, then hide my hands to avoid raising suspicion.
啊？
What? Didn't know Leopardi can't come today? I try to stay calm, act casual, just put on a brave face and squeeze out a smile. I am Nana, Leopardi's colleague. We've met before, don't you remember?
娜娜。
The man's expression softens. He seems to be hooked and reaches out to grab the lock of my hair. I'll cut this lock of hair when I get back. Since then, I always thought about seeing you again. I hide my discomfort and hold my gaze and try to give him a flirtatious wink.
真是个聪明的女人，我喜欢。哎，话说起来，你可比小花豹漂亮多了，但这伺候人的功夫嘛。
He approaches again, and I'm prepared for this, and quickly dodge him. Hold on, you have to hold. You haven't told me what you can give me yet.
你想要什么我都给。
The man laughs lewdly and tries to come on to me again. You're that good?
小花豹没有告诉你吗？我可是竹苑娱乐的总裁。
President of Crescentoid Entertainment? I'm shocked. I may be a newbie, but I didn't know Crescent is one of the biggest names in the movie industry.
总裁金竹的高级助理。
This is shocking. I want to hit him.
怎么啦？别看不起助理啊！只要我肯开口，凭我和金总的关系，你要什么不是分分钟的事情啊？
Words are just words. Do you have any proof?
证据？
Hold on. In this moment, I'm surprisingly calm. He flinches. I guess he's never been asked that before. Work card, group photo, company documents. You must have some kind of identification. The man furrows his brow. He's clearly a little impotent. Impatient. There's a Freudian slip for everybody. I'm trying to protect myself too. There are so many scammers out there these days. Don't worry, just show me your ID and I'll make it up to you. The man loosens up a bit at that.
女人就是麻烦。
He mutters and turns to his room. Now's my chance. Alright guys, you want to pepper spray him or tase him? You get a choice. Which would you guys like to do? Oh, that is cool. How do I make it come back? Thank you. Oh god. Okay. What should we do? Give you guys a moment to choose. Pepper spray, it's easier to fake as perfume. Alright. I take out my pepper spray and sneak up behind him. I don't know why that skipped. Yes?
哎呦，怎么了？
The moment he turns, I raise the spray and blast him. The man lets out a miserable scream and falls to his knees with his hands over his face. In a flash, I bash him with my rolling pin as hard as I can. Scumbag, bastard, pervert! I scream all kinds of names at him to give it more impact. I'm not that strong anyway, just avoid the vitals, nothing major.
别打了，别打了！
Do you know what you've done?
知道了，知道了。
Will you do it again?
不敢了，不敢了，不敢了。
That's more like it. I'm panting and stop hitting him. Wow, beating people is really hard work. That should do it. While the man is on the ground, I fish the pendant out of my bag. The water level has risen again. Burgundy liquid fills the small crystal bottle. Task complete. I shake the small bottle with satisfaction. After checking the pendant, I put away the rolling pin with relief. Justice has been served. As the man trembles to get up, I give an extra shot of pepper spray. While he's trying to recover, I rush out. I close the door and block out the screams of the man. Stay calm, just breathe. I tell myself as I walk to the elevator. Whether it's the excitement of finishing the task or the guilt of beating someone, I break into a run. So people can see it. Just as I turn the corner, I collide with someone. My bag drops to the ground. They react quickly and tug on my arm. I lurch forward and scratch my nose on their jacket. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
老板，
I've just regained my footing when I hear two nervous male voices. Boss?
你没事吧？
This is the second time I've heard this today. However, unlike the young man's voice, this voice is an inexplicably softness that almost sounds musical. I'm fine. Sorry. Only when I look up do I notice his clothes. He's all covered up like a star going out in public. The two guys with him look like bodyguards. Ordinary people in hotels surely don't need bodyguards.
你在看什么？
Nothing. Sorry. Excuse me. I snap out of it. As I bend down to pick up my things, I can feel his gaze in the back of my head. To take matters worse, the can of pepper spray falls straight to the man's feet. He reaches down and picks it up before me and reads the label. Thanks. I take the spray and try to stay calm and move on.
不客气。
The man's voice rings out behind him and sounds remarkably lighthearted. I need to get out of here. I hear a gentle laugh behind me. It feels like someone is tickling my ears with a feather. My cheeks feel hot. I keep walking around the corner, then peek behind a wall. No way. The men are moving toward the creep's room.
进门先不用管他，把摄像头给我搜出来，一定有。
是。
Bodyguard swipes open the door. Inside, the cries suddenly stop. That perverted creep is blubbering something. I can't hear it. What are they doing? It's too far away to hear what's happening. Wait, they seem to be holding room keys. Is he Leopardi? I wince and turn my head back. This is freaking me out. I rub the goosebumps on my arms. I don't want to think about it and press the elevator button. All right, that's where we're going to actually leave it today. So we'll do more next time. But it looks like things are getting really spicy. Let's go back to the main menu. So let's see what we've unlocked. So we unlocked that art. Of course, that. I do like this picture. So we have to try to unlock... Oh, it moves. So we still have others to unlock next time, too. So thank you guys for joining me for more Bacchanalia, or Bacchanali, or Bacchanala, whatever you want to say its name is. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Having a good time.